everyone, I'm Sarah, and today on Budgetsew, I'm going to show you how to lengthen your skirts and dresses on a budget. This is a quick and easy fix to extend the wear of your dresses. The first dress that I'm going to lengthen is a woven dress, and the second dress is a knit wrap dress. The first dress looked like this.
This is a Calvin Klein dress that I purchased a few years ago at the Hudson's Bay Company. It's a gorgeous dress and I enjoy wearing it, but the hem is above the knee. This isn't a problem, however, I want the dress to fall below the knee. I find it a bit more comfortable to have a longer skirt.
You can choose any fabric to lengthen your dress, but try to keep it a similar type and weight. For example, if you're working with a woven polyester dress, try to use woven polyester. Or if the dress is a knit spandex, then go for knit spandex. The fabric that I chose was purchased at Value Village for $4.99 a meter, and it was approximately 60 inches wide by 72 inches long. As a bonus, it's almost the same shade of black as the dress. The first thing I did was try on my dress to determine how much length I wanted to add. This dress falls just above the knee, and I would like it to fall either below the knee or mid-calf. I think that T-length is quite elegant.
For this dress, I decided to add 7 inches to the length. This includes 5/8 of an inch for the seam allowances, as well as a 1-inch hem. I cut 2 pieces of fabric 7 inches long by the width of the fabric. One piece will be for the front of the dress, and the other piece will be for the back. My skirt front measurement was 36 inches, and the back skirt measurement was 39 inches. If you are confident that your fabric won't stretch, slide, or move, then you may cut the front and back pieces to the exact size you need plus seam allowances. Sometimes I'm able to get the measurement of the band right on. However, it's better to have too much fabric than too little. I feel that since the dress and the additional fabric are not quite the same, it's better to be safe than sorry. Next, I pinned the 2 band pieces right sides together and sewed them. Only do this on one side. The other side of the band will remain open at this time. Next, I took my band of fabric and pinned it right sides together to the current hem of the dress, and matching up the seam I just sewed with the one seam on the side of the dress. I did not let down the original hem because I wanted the inside of the dress to look finished. I pinned the entire band all the way around the hem of the dress. Then I sewed it down, leaving about 1 inch from the other side seam. If your dress is lined like mine, make sure that the lining does not get caught when sewing. At the open ends of the band, I pinned the vertical side seam together, sewed it, and cut off the excess fabric. Watch out for your dress lining. Then I stitched the band to the dress at the side seam. My next step used a lot of pins. I wanted to top stitch the seam allowance down, so I pinned the original hem of the dress down to the top of the band. This made the dress drape better. Next, I pinned the hem. I folded over about ½ an inch of fabric, then folded it over another ½ an inch, completely enclosing the fraying raw edge. After that, all that was left was to sew it. I started with the hem first. I used a straight stitch on this rather than the blind hem stitch because I wanted the stitches to be visible to match the top stitching. The top stitching was my final step, and it made the band look like it was part of the dress originally. This is the finished dress.
Since the first dress was a woven dress with a circular hem, I thought I'd show you what I did with a knit wrap dress. The second dress looked like this.
This Chaps brand knit wrap dress was purchased a few years ago at the Hudson's Bay Company. This dress is perfect for warm summer days, but it's not quite long enough for me.
This dress has a gorgeous green print on a navy blue background, so I chose a green swimsuit fabric with little rectangles printed on it. I purchased the fabric at a store closing sale at Fabricland for $6 a meter. The regular price was $24 a meter. I like how the two fabrics go together even though they are different prints. The green swimsuit fabric feels the same as the dress fabric. Both are slippery and really stretchy. This dress will also be lengthened with a 7-inch band of fabric. This measurement includes 5/8 of an inch for the seam allowance and ½ an inch hem. Again, I cut 2 pieces of fabric 7 inches long by the width of the fabric. One piece will be for the front of the dress, and the other piece will be for the back and the wrap under the front. My skirt front overlap measurement was 25 inches wide. The back skirt was 33 inches, and the front underlay was 32 inches wide. If you're confident that your fabric won't stretch, slide, or move, then cut your pieces to the exact size you need plus seam allowances. I didn't cut mine to the exact size at this time because the fabric was so slippery.
I pinned the 2 band pieces right sides together and sewed them. Only do this on one side. The other side of the band will remain open because this is a wrap dress. Next, I pinned my band of fabric to the current hem of the dress, right sides facing, and matched up the seam I just sewed with the one side seam of the dress. I did not let down the original hem because I wanted the inside of the dress to look finished. I pin the entire band around the hem of the dress. Then I sewed it together using a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. Next, I cut off the excess fabric at the ends of the band. Since the dress was a knit fabric and the edge was not finished, I did not hem this side of the band. Next, it was major pinning time. I wanted to top stitch a seam allowance down, so I pinned the original hem of the dress down to the top of the band. This made the dress skirt drape better. Next, I pinned the hem, folding it over about 1/2 inch of fabric. Since the fabric is a knit, it will not fray, so there's no need to encase the raw edge in the hem. After that, all that was left was to sew it. I started with the hem first. The fabric was so slippery that I had to adjust the thread tension. I used a straight stitch on this rather than the blind hem stitch because I wanted the stitches to be visible to match the top stitching. The top stitching was my final step, and it made the band look like it was part of the original dress. is the finished dress.
Enjoyed learning how to lengthen your skirts and dresses on a budget. Please subscribe to Budget Sew to stay connected. Thanks for watching. See you next time.